Hey everybody, ChristopherOdd here. Welcome to Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Now this episode is going to be a little bit of a prologue to the beginning of the game, in which I'm going to go through the different clans and some of their histories in order to figure out what kind of character that I want to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read all of the different definitions for the different clans. And then once I've selected that clan, I'll decide male or female. And then once we've done that, we will pick a history. And these are specific to each of the clans. So this game is brand new to me. Never played it. I've heard amazing things about it in terms of the environment being some of the most immersive. The story is supposed to be really interesting. You'll see that I've named myself Odd Skarsgård. So if you can figure out the little Easter egg in the last name there, then good for you. Good luck. Let's go through the clans and figure out what they're all about. So Bruja are passionate idealists and rebels, more likely to fight for their rights than write protest songs. In life, most Bruja sought social change, and in Undeath, most clan members commonly seek the creation of a vampiric utopia. As militant radicals, they are renowned for their combat skills, but are also more likely to frenzy due to their hot-bloodedness, so to speak. They receive +1 to their unarmed feat, but are penalized with a -2 to all frenzy checks due to their zealous natures. So some of these things I'm not sure how they're going to impact yet. I know once we progress past here, we'll actually be able to assign some attributes. So Bruja are kind of like your rough guys. Gangrel are wild loners that are the most in tune with the beast within, allowing them to shapeshift into more beastly forms. Nomadic in nature, Gangrel care little about vampire politics and prefer to dwell and hunt in the outskirts of society. Because of their animalistic nature, they receive a +5 to strength, stamina, and wits during frenzy. However, because of their inherent feral nature, Gangrel receive a -1 on all frenzy checks. Doesn't really fit with what I am thinking. Malkavians, this is what a lot of people talk about when they talk about Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. These guys are kind of weird. Malkavians are known as lunatics because of their ability to hear voices of insight and subject others to their insanity through their discipline, dementation. So, well, each clan, I believe, has a different dementation, or a different discipline, I should say, and dementation is one of their disciplines. The world appears much different to the Malkavian than it does to the sane clans, though the extent of a Malkavian's madness depends on the individual. A blessing and a curse, a Malkavian's insanity will help or hinder them, depending on how much they struggle against their nature. Malkavians start with a +2 bonus to inspection. So, the basic gist of these guys is they're a little bit nutty, and I think for a first playthrough, probably not something that I would stick with. Nosferatu as well, probably something I wouldn't use, and I'll explain why in a second. They're hideous, skulking, and powerful. Even in a world of monsters, the Nosferatu stand out. The Embrace twists and deforms their physical features, forcing them to seek sanctuary underground. Nosferatu are masters of the shadows. Due to their curse, Nosferatu have a seduction of 0 and can never raise it higher, and they hide their existence from common humans. Having shared the darkness with vermin for so long, vampires of Clan Nosferatu are able to draw extra nourishment from rats. So these are like your bottom dwellers. These guys are so hideous, I don't even think you're allowed to be seen by humans or things get all messed up. So I will not be picking a Nosferatu. A Toreador or a Toreador picture themselves as artistes and visionaries, and they value the high society mentality that the Camarilla reinforces. And I think the Camarilla is like the vampire society, like kings. Not kings, but they are basically the rulers of the vampire society, I think. Of all clans, the Toreador are the most connected to the mortal world through arts and entertainment. Toreador are beautiful creatures, svelte and seductive, and move almost effortlessly through the society of the living. The Toreador's empathy is both a gift and a burden. All humanity shifts are doubled. I'm not sure how that comes into play just yet, but they're an option. A Tremere, blood sorcerers born from mystic rituals and diablerie. The Tremere are the least trusted of the Camarilla clans. The ritual The tremor used to transform from living mages into undying monsters stripped them of their magic arts. To compensate, the vampires of Clan Tremere developed thaumaturgy, the powerful discipline of blood magic. The clan guards its secrets jealously and are the only kindred to wield this powerful discipline. The pursuit of arcane knowledge comes before all else, and the reliance upon it has weakened the bloodline. Tremere can raise no physical attribute above 4 points. Okay. And last but not least, a Ventru. Truly the upper echelons of society, the Ventru are seen as the honorable and virtuous leaders of the Camarilla. Okay. They wholeheartedly support the Masquerade, influencing the mortal and undead worlds to help them maintain the Masquerade, as well as garner support for themselves. Clan Ventru is an exclusive and powerful gathering of immortals, and even the lowliest initiate of Clan Ventru can expect special treatment in kindred society. This regal bloodline, however, gains no nourishment from the lowborn and thin-blooded. Ventru gain no blood from feeding on animals. Feeding on low-life humans, prostitutes, and the homeless can cause the Ventru to vomit. Okay. So, a whole range of different things. Some of these are interesting, like the Toreador could be interesting. I don't know what humanity's shifts are. I'm actually thinking of going with the Ventru, and the reason why is because it reminds me of the movie Blade. When you see, like, these high society vampires. This could be really interesting. The only downside is that you don't get blood from feeding on animals, and low-life humans will make you vomit. But they can expect special treatment from kindred society, so I kind of think that might open up some dialogue down the road. So I think I'm going to actually stick with Ventru. Male or female? Let's actually go female. I'm not sure if this has a large impact on the game or not. I'm gonna go female, actually. Maybe that'll increase my powers of seduction. And some history. We got to pick, like, a background. And I guess in the original game that this history got scratched out and never got used, but in this unofficial patch, I'm on 8.9, they've brought this back in, and so this unofficial patch has added so many different things back to this game. And I'm pretty excited to see how things go, because this will be my first experience anyway, so I won't know the difference, but... Already as a teen, you love to demonstrate your influence and power over others. Swap the priority order of your attributes to physical, mental, social. Okay. I don't plan on being a very physical vampire. I'm going to mostly rely on social skills and kind of stealth, if possible. Industry lobbyist. You have a big ego. You represented industry and press their agenda in the halls of power. Which industry? Which one's paying? Swap the priority order of your attributes to mental, social, physical. That might not be bad. Southern debutante. If you were very privileged, and gained excellent education, Mother would be so proud if she knew you were accepted into the best vampire clan around. Swap the priority of your attributes to social, physical, mental. So I'm thinking if we can find one that's social, mental, physical, that would be ideal. Corporate schmo. There's no room in your cubicle to hang your business degree. You were reprimanded for having a wrinkled shirt, and you laughed when your buddy decided to major in rhetoric. Now he's a sitcom writer and wears Birkenstocks to work. So he always said, business casual is the dress of defeat. Maybe you could go back and get your MBA. Swap the priority of your abilities to skills, knowledges, talents. War profiteer or defense contractor. Someone has to make sure the troops get hot meals and video teleconferencing from home. And if, while you're over there, you can help the natives get their economy running by landing some bloated, no-bid oil services contracts from your buddies in government, great, it's a win-win. So one of your truck drivers gets beheaded on the internet. Who doesn't realize that risk when they sign up for the job? Probably not. A runaway. Your old man was a bastard, you can say that now. It took years to be able to mention him. You're making progress, but you still avoid confrontation, and you don't know if you'll ever be comfortable with being touched. You start with 1 point in stealth, but it costs more experience to raise your brawl ability. Well, that could actually work. We get the stealth. the brawl is not important to me. Dominatrix, of course. You've always been persuasive, but as a vampire, few can deny your will. You start with 1 point in Subterfuge, and your dominate effects are stronger and last longer. As someone who's used to having others serve her, you must spend more experience to raise your skills. Okay. Subterfuge, dominate, could be interesting. Diabolic. In addition to the beast within, you struggle against an even darker force. You feel the pull of salvation and damnation in your every action. Your presence has a greater duration, but it will cost you more experience to buy humanity points, and you are more likely to frenzy. Megalomaniac, you have a big ego because of your confidence in yourself and your abilities. People can either really hate you or are drawn to you. You start with an extra point of charisma, but you can never raise Subterfuge above 4. And well-educated. You are very privileged and gain excellent education all around. You have a bonus in a variety of abilities, but you're mild-tempered and weak-willed. You can't ever raise Dominate and Intimidation above 3. Interesting. Okay, so I kind of like Megalomaniac a little bit, even though I don't know like what the scaling is like, because Subterfuge is like a way to kind of convince people to see your point of view, I think. I don't know if that's going to be limiting. I'm thinking maybe Runaway would be the best start. Get a point in health, but it costs more to raise your Brawl, which is like the only downside. The other one that wouldn't be bad would be the Southern Debutante. Swap the priority order of your attributes to social, physical, mental. I think I'm going to go with a Runaway, because this is a kind of a cool story anyways. So if we're a Runaway that when we eventually got into this high-profile Ventru clan, like that could be pretty interesting. So I'm actually going to choose that. Odd Skarsgård, Ventru, female, Runaway. And now we have a few things to pick out here. So we already have a point in stealth. Let's just read through some of these before we start picking. Oh, I see. Look at this. Okay. So here are feats. Here are the attributes. The attributes feed into the feats, I believe. So if you look at what's highlighted, these will change based on some of the other skills. Okay, so strength and method of your character's physical prowess is crucial for both the unarmed and melee combats. Dexterity is a speed and agility. It will increase your lockpicking and sneaking. So I'm thinking we go... How do I get another one in there now? Because we have 3... Oh, here we go. Oh, I see. Okay, so we have some unspent points here. Abilities... I'm not sure what the 6, the 3, and the 1 are referring to just yet. Okay. But regardless, I can't put anything into physical. But Charisma measures your character's ability to sway others through personality. Charisma is an important part of the persuasion feat. And you can see it's kind of highlighted over there. So let's go one more into that. Indicates physical attractiveness. Appearance is the foundation of the seduction feat. Ability to exploit people in events. Manipulation is necessary for the haggle feat. Haggling, I don't know if that's going to be as important. What if we go into appearance? Let's do that. Mental, so perception measures your character's awareness of their surroundings. Perception is necessary for range combat and inspection feats. Range, I don't know. Indicates your character's ability to learn, think, and remember. Intelligence is essential for the research and intimidate. That could be kind of cool. Or wit measures the sharpness of your character's mind. The ability to think on their feet. Wits improve the defense and hacking feats. I think I'm going to go intelligence. Now, some talents. We've got Brawl, Dodge, Intimidation, and Subterfuge. So, measure your character's ability to conceal their motives and deceive others. Subterfuge is needed for the feat of seduction. So, let's do that. Dodge increases defense. Brawl not as important. I'm thinking maybe Intimidation and Subterfuge. Measure your character's ability to instill fear and force cooperation. Intimidation naturally increases your intimidation feat. Let's do that. We've got firearms, melee, security, and stealth. Security is needed for lockpicking. Let's do that, because that'll probably open some doors for us. Now, we've got computers. Computer knowledge is needed for hacking. Finance is needed for the haggle feat. Investigation will increase inspection, so you can notice minute or hidden details. Let's grab that. And scholarship, your character's ability to gather information, debate, and learn new skills. Scholarship will increase your research and persuasion. So I think instead of finance, let's go computers. So we're putting a lot into mental and social, pretty much. And then disciplines, we've got... Oh, okay, the things that were in the brackets were the total amount within here, but then they were separated out. I gotcha. So dominate. The superior strength of the vampiric mind allows your character to control the minds of weaker kind and even some kindred. Dominate effects are covert actions. They cannot be traced back to you and carry no risk of violating the Masquerade. Oh, I like that. Activation costs 1 blood. The target sinks into a mesmerizing trance or starts to dance for 10 seconds. Fortitude. Each clan specializes in its own unique set of these. Oh, this is just talking about disciplines overall. Okay. Oh, I see. Each of these does a different... Okay. Target sinks in a mesmerizing trance. The next one, all enemies within the small radius will think you've disappeared. The effect wears off after 5 seconds. Target will fall asleep for about 30 seconds, becoming completely incapacitated. You impose your will on the victim to suffer a fatal fit. The victim will desperately attack anyone who means you harm until the victim eventually dies of cardiac arrest. Wow. So it's like possession. Fortitude allows for amazing displays of preternatural constitution. Guarantees a certain amount of damage from every incoming attack will be ignored, regardless of the source. The use of Fortitude is not considered a violation. So this could actually help us, because we're not going to be a super physical character, if we can reduce damage. It's 3 guaranteed points to soak feats. That could work. Powerful supernatural abilities. Each clan specializes its own unique set. Presence. The dead presence of the vampire can strike mortal fear into the hearts of their opponents, reducing enemies' effectiveness in combat. All levels of presence cost 1 blood per activation. Presence carries no risk of violating the Masquerade. So this does... Interesting. So victims at the max level will suffer 25% chance to be mesmerized, a -5 penalty to strength, wits and perception, and a reduced rate of attack. So basically we're making those around us weaker. Fortitude, this is probably pretty good. I like Dominate though. That could get us out of a brain wipe. I think I'm gonna go Dominate for now, and then probably bounce between Dominate and Fortitude. I'm really not sure how we gain different things here, but this gives us a pretty good base for mental and social. Specifically social, we're gaining a lot. I do not want to auto level. I do not want to reset. I think we are good to go. The Embrace is the act of transforming a mortal into a vampire.